Kevin, listen, thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate your time. First of all, before we start, how are you feeling? Obviously, you've been struggling with post-COVID.
I feel alright. I think I'm lucky that COVID didn't affect me too much. I needed about 2 games to get, a little bit adjusted again. But then I think obviously having that tough schedule in the end of December, I played a lot of games and I feel I'm in a good rhythm right now.
So tomorrow you can go 13 points clear of Chelsea in the title race. Is it in your mind as the players that tomorrow you can almost take a title rival out?
Well, we know it's an important game. If you win these big games, it's always a big step. Obviously, we have a little bit of a gap right now, but it's still important to keep that momentum going. I think the more you keep winning and winning these games, the harder it gets for the opponent. But obviously, tomorrow it's a 6-point game, and it can be 13, 10 or 7, so that's a big difference.
And 11 straight victories, by the way, in the Premier League since you guys lost points against Crystal Palace at home. What was the catalyst for that? And we've seen you now recently grinding out performances like against Arsenal at their stadium. What has been the catalyst for that run of games?
Well, I think when you always come in that period of November, December, January, for me, it's the tough games. If you can win them, that makes a difference. The games that you are in a good rhythm and you're playing well, you can win easily. But then I think the games against Brentford and Arsenal, where you're not performing at your best, but you can win them, that makes a huge difference, because maybe you draw against Brentford, you lose against Arsenal, that's a 4-point swing. And I think it shows that we can win in other ways sometimes than just playing nice football and attacking football. When sometimes in a 38-game season, it just doesn't work that way.
Fantasy football managers, like myself, by the way, will know from the lineups from Pep are never kind of predictable. Is this something that you guys as players feel leading up to a game? Because I never liked that. I wanted to know that I'd be in the team. And how did you guys deal with that?
I don't think it's always the easiest thing to cope with. I think especially when you're a new guy coming to this club, and you maybe a big signing, you want to play all the time because that's what you've been used to. But it happens to everybody. I've been here for 6 years and it's happened to me, so I'm already used to it. But obviously, it needs the squad to be in a reasonable harmony sometimes to be okay with that. But obviously there's moments where players are not happy with their situation, or they not rebel a little bit, but they let the other people know. And in another way, the people who are not playing, they always show whenever they get an opportunity that they're good enough to fill in. So the competitiveness in the squad is always been there, so that's a really good point.
A player who spoke really highly about you last season on BT Sport was Jack Grealish. Now he's a teammate. How has he settled in since the huge records price tag when he came in?
I think Jack has done really well. I think obviously people sometimes look at goals and assists, but I think he gives us something different that we didn't have before. He's somebody who challenges the opponent, who goes 1v1, who creates a lot of mismatches. He attracts a lot of defenders to him, so that makes holes in other areas for us on the pitch. And I think goals and assist wise that will come. A lot of people who came here took a while to get to 100% speed, but for me he's been doing well, and we're top of the table, so I think he's got still a long time with us, and he will be fine in the goals and assist department.
I think a lot of people, when they look at your team, they look at the flair players like yourself and all the other players that we can list. But someone who I'm interested to hear your opinion on is someone like Rodri. How important is he in your team in the way that he plays and he enables others to function?
Obviously, I think it's a very underrated position. It's a position that gels everything together, and I think there's also a big difference in the Rodri who came here 2 years ago, maybe played last year, and I think for me personally this year he came up leaps and bounds, and maybe probably in the perfect time where Dino is getting a little bit older, maybe can't play every week, but Rodri has been brilliant for me. So yeah, props to him.
So now the business end of the season, where the medals start to be looked at and thought about. Is the Champions League something that creeps into your mind around this kind of time? Given that you want revenge, I'm sure, for what happened in Porto last summer.
Not really. I think obviously it's always been a big target of us. We've not been able to reach that target, but we've been creeping closer and closer. You know, we've been there at quarterfinals in the last 5-6 years, semis, final last year. So, you know, we've always been there. Obviously, we've not been just going over the line, but you know, we're gonna try again. We've been doing that all the time, and hopefully, of course, this year would be good to be the year. But that's a hard competition to win.
Listen, man, Kevin, always great to see you and speak to you. Thank you very much, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.